Alright, hey guys, my name is Joe. Coming in front of you guys today to give a little bit of a testimony about how I came to Christ and how through the love of God and the unconditional love that He offers has changed my life. We'll go back to November 2015. Was in the middle of a downward spiral with drugs. Had lost my wife, my relationship with my children. And for the next 2 years, starting in November 2015, I was in and out of jail and rehab quite a bit. I won't go into the details. For you folks watching, I know that all of you probably have been touched or affected in one way or another by addiction, whether it's a relative, family member, a friend, someone you know at work. And we all know how crippling and devastating that addiction can be. November of 2015, about a year and a half, 2 years of in jail and rehabs. And then one day a man came into the jail and he told me that if I seek the Lord and I truly seek Him, that I will find Him. And to really surrender everything. And that's the first time I heard the term surrender. So when I got out of jail, I went to the Restore House here in Bemidji, and it took me a little bit, to really turn over everything to God's will and surrender. I would wake up some days and say that I had surrendered, and it just wasn't real. It wasn't real. So through some of the guys, some of the pastors at the Restore House, really explained to me what surrendering was, and that is to turn your will, everything over. All of your decisions, all of your hardships, all of your ups, downs, you just turn it all over to God. And that's really, what I feel that we're missing in life is for whatever we go through, there's a hole that gets developed in the middle of your chest where God's love is supposed to be. And if you don't fill that hole in your heart with God's love, then the devil's going to fill it for you. I honestly, truly believe that when you do surrender everything over, your life will completely change. So February 5th of 2017 is when I sobered up, got out of jail, and it took me a couple months. On March 17th of 2017, I turned everything over. I surrendered myself to God. I got rebaptized in the Mississippi River behind Pomida, and I truly washed that old person down the river, down the Mississippi, out the Gulf of Mexico. And when I came up from underneath the water, I could feel it. I felt that I was truly free of that old person from all my sin. And honestly, since then, it's been less than 2 years since that day, and my life is completely amazing. My relationship with my children is better than it's ever been. I have a great job where I get to share the word with hundreds of people every single day. I have no worries. I have no complaints. All that I feel is God's love, and that's all I project to other people. It truly can be done. I'm living proof of that. I owe it all to Him. And when you truly, truly surrender everything over and give it over to the will of God, then He'll fill your heart with His unconditional love. And I know that this time of year is a season of love and compassion and joy, but it's also a time of pain and sorrow and and some guilt and loss. So you just ask Him to take away that guilt and shame, and just accept His unconditional love. And I can assure you that if you do that, then your life will be amazing.
All the love and joy that was in the house, and it was just a really nasty thing. This went on for about three steady years, and I I had it, and I was sitting in my room again, and he was beating my mother out in the living room, and I had my 410 loaded, I had my toe in the trigger, and I was gonna blow my brains out. I had enough, you know, and I didn't know it at the time, but I know now that it was God that pulled my toe out of the trigger and gave me the strength to go out into the living room. My dad was on top of my mom. He was gonna hit her again, and I stuck that gun in the back of his head, and I'm like, you bleep, 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 ever touch her again, and I will blow your brains all over her right now. I'll end your life. And I didn't realize this until just like a year ago, that God answered my prayer right then and there. That night, he answered my prayer, because my dad never ever touched, and hasn't to this day, touched my mother ever since. And she got her peace through this incident. My dad decided to get some help, go to treatment, and lo and behold, he goes to get treatment. He's in inpatient treatment. My mom sees her way out, and she goes, files for divorce, and moves us out. And through this, at the age of 12, then I was made to decide who it was I was to go and live with. And at the age of 12, I wanted to go live with my father, and I wanted to learn how to be a man. So I thought, you know, then, and my mom, she ended up disowning me because of that decision for 3 years, from the time I was 12 till I was about 16.